Once upon a time, in a lush forest filled with towering trees and glistening streams, there lived a wise old oak tree named Ollie. Ollie was the oldest tree in the forest, and his branches stretched far and wide, providing shade and shelter to all the creatures that called the forest home. One sunny morning, as Ollie basked in the warm glow of the sun, he heard a faint sobbing coming from beneath his branches. Curious, Ollie peered down and saw a young rabbit named Rosie sitting at the base of his trunk, tears streaming down her furry cheeks. "What troubles you, young Rosie?" Ollie asked in his gentle, rumbling voice. Rosie looked up, her eyes wide with sadness. "I made a mistake, Ollie," she confessed. "I accidentally trampled over Mrs. Squirrel's garden, and now she's angry with me." Ollie nodded understandingly, his wise old eyes twinkling with empathy. "Mistakes happen, my dear Rosie," he said soothingly. "But what matters most is how we choose to handle them." With Ollie's encouragement, Rosie mustered up the courage to apologize to Mrs. Squirrel and offer to help her replant her garden. Mrs. Squirrel, touched by Rosie's sincerity, forgave her without hesitation, and the two became fast friends. As word of Rosie's act of forgiveness spread throughout the forest, other creatures began to follow her example, resolving their own conflicts and restoring peace and harmony to the land. And so, under the watchful gaze of the forgiving oak tree, the forest thrived, filled with the joyful laughter of friends who had learned the true power of forgiveness. With hearts full of gratitude, the creatures of the forest bid each other good night, knowing that as long as they had forgiveness in their hearts, they would always find their way back to each other. And so, nestled beneath the comforting branches of the wise old oak tree, Rosie closed her eyes and drifted off to sleep, her dreams filled with visions of a world where forgiveness reigned supreme. Good night, dear friends, and may the spirit of forgiveness guide you always.